Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour, because you gotta pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. So another couple of ghost hunt stories. There was one night I had a group of probably middle-aged women who were on the ghost hunt and they just really wanted to have an experience. And I mean, I understand. That's why people come on ghost hunts to have a connection to the afterlife. And people take that seriously. I respect that. But my job as the guide on the hunt, part of it was to tell people when what they were experiencing was not paranormal. And these ladies just really didn't want to hear that. And they had the audio recorder running, and they kept being like, "Oh my God, I hear a voice." And I'd be like, "Cool, play it back for me." And they would, and every single time, it was the cat. And they kept doing it over and over and over again, and every single time I'd be like, I don't want to discourage you, but I'm pretty sure that's the cat. And eventually, after the fifth time they did this, I happened to be standing there near the cat, so I just picked him up and was like, "Okay, so this is Tolliver. This is the cat you keep hearing." And they were just like, "Well, it could have been a ghost cat." And I was just like, "Sure." After that, I formed a general policy that if people clearly wanted to believe something was paranormal when it wasn't, I'd give them two times, I'd correct them. But after that, I just let them believe it and was just like, "Sure, yeah, interesting voice you heard there." Another night on the ghost hunt, though. So the way this property was set up, there was the front house, which was a store and a privately owned home, a courtyard, and then the back house where we did the ghost hunt, which meant that to get to the ghost hunt, you had to walk by someone's private house. And we always told people this before we started. We told people, we're going to be walking by a private home. I need you to be quiet, not scream, because, this person's bedroom is right there. Please do not bother them. We are only allowed to do this because they are willing to let us, so please be polite. And most nights, this was not a problem. People would be quiet on the walk back to the building. If they happened to see the homeowner, they'd, wave at most and leave her be. But there was one night that I don't know what the hell was wrong with this guy. I think he was just so determined to prove that he was manly that he was not thinking. Because, throughout the night, he had been, slightly problematic. And then at one point, we're doing a session downstairs, and he can see out the windows to the front house. And Claudia walks by to the kitchen. And when he looks up and sees her, he says something to the extent of, "Oh my God, I saw someone." And I'm like, "Yeah, you saw the woman that lived there. I told you people lived there. That's the homeowner." And he was like, "Oh, but what if she's breaking in?" And I'm like, "She's not. I saw her. That's the homeowner. She lives there." And he was like, "Oh, well, what if she's a ghost?" And I'm like, "She's the homeowner." And this went on for a disturbingly large amount of time. It felt like 10 minutes, but it was probably just a minute of me being like, "It's the homeowner." But I go on about my business, life goes on, I see her walk by again, and I just really pointedly do not point out that she walked by again. But maybe an hour later, we're in the other half of the front room, and that's where the door is. And that door did not really latch, so quite often it would just fall open, and it happened to be open at that moment. And I had yet to get up and shut it, because I usually would to prevent sound from coming in or going out. And the guy looks up and sees that the homeowner has stepped out into the back courtyard. Now, I'm not sure what she was doing back there. Lord only knows. She could have been getting the cat. She could have been cleaning up. It doesn't matter. But he sees her, and before I can even say a word to him, he steps out of the building and starts fussing at her for interrupting their event. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there being like, Sir, she lives here. This is her property. You are here on her good graces. You have got to calm your shit down." And he was getting, taking steps towards her and clearly wanted to fight her. And meanwhile, I'm thinking, this woman owns a gun. And I know this because a couple of weeks before I'd been in late at night to pick up some stuff that I had left there. And she hadn't known I was going to stop by. So she sent me a text message being like, "Hey, don't stop by unannounced because I thought you were an intruder and almost pulled a gun on you." And I was like, "Cool, good to know. I will not stop by unannounced ever again." And I'm just sitting here like, dude, you need to leave this woman alone. She has a gun and she will defend herself. But it takes me like 5 minutes to get him just to step back in the building and calm his shit down. Luckily, soon after that, like, his girlfriend or whoever was with him was like, I think we need to leave. And I'm like, yeah, I think you do.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.